Tonight, what's quite possibly poker's biggest scandal of the year unfolded as chip dumping, a form of collusion and cheating in poker. I'll say allegedly, of course, happened at the $1,500 Millionaire Maker final table with over $1 million on the line for both first and second place. As the tournament reached heads-up play, Jesse Yajanuma faced a brutal 9-1 chip deficit against James Carroll, $269.2 million to just $30.7 million. An impossible comeback? Almost. But Yajanuma had one thing going for him. And no, it wasn't luck. To understand why chip dumping likely occurred, we need to talk about a promotion being run by the online poker site WPT Gold. And no, this is not a sponsored segment. They are getting this for free. Players on WPT Gold can earn something called a Gold Rush ticket through daily free rolls, social media giveaways, and other promos. With that ticket, they are eligible for a $1 million bonus if they win a qualifying WSOP bracelet event. Sounds insane, but it already happened in the $1,500 WSOP shootout. One player won $267K for first place, and thanks to a Gold Rush ticket, they actually cashed for $1,267,000. Now, in this case, Yajanuma had one of those tickets too. Despite being severely outchipped, just making it to heads up gave him a real shot at that extra $1 million. But why leave that kind of money to chance? Especially when both players could benefit. As you'll see in the way heads up played out, it sure looks like Yajanuma made a deal with Carroll behind closed doors, a soft agreement to chip dump and split the $1 million once the win was locked up. Whether this is right or wrong, I'm not here to debate. I will show you some reactions at the end, but I think the majority of people have no problem with this as long as it is just between the final two players. That said, we are going to show how it all went down because what went down, and people want to know, so let's get into it. Shortly after the heads-up match begins, it becomes pretty clear what's happening as Yajanuma limps in with 7-5 off, and Carroll checks his option with 10-6 off. Carroll flops trips and Yajanuma top pair. Carroll leads out for $4 million, and with just $17 million behind, or 7 big blinds, it looks like it's all over for Yajanuma. Top pair when heads up on this stack size, how can he get away?
What? Oh my good! Does Carroll have some kind of crazy live tell?
No, I don't understand.
Yajanuma doesn't have a live tell on Carroll. He has something far better. Here's how it works. They both bet an odd number if they have a weak hand, bluff, or will fold to aggression, and they both bet an even number if they have value. Don't believe me? Here are some more examples. Carroll opens for $7 million, an odd number, and Yajanuma just rips it all in with 6-5 off. Okay, maybe Yajanuma is just crazy. Next, it's a limped pot. Carroll decides to stab with his Jack-9 off for $5 million. Odd number. Yajanuma conveniently raises big and Carroll quickly folds. Next, Carroll raises Jack-5 to $9 million. Odd number. And Yajanuma just sticks it all in again with no fear. Unbelievable. Need more? We've got it. Carroll raises his mediocre Jack-10 off to $9 million. Yajanuma just has that special feeling once again and 3-bets this time with King-4 off to $22 million. Carroll folds. Raise fold is the name of the game here, and not just that, but they start increasing bet sizes pre-flop significantly. Yajanuma limps in with his 10-8 off. Carroll raises 5x to $15 million. An odd number, and cue for Yajanuma to play back. He goes all in. Wow.
But Yajanuma has pushed back at seemingly the right time every time. It really is amazing.
Once they get even deeper, there becomes room for 4-betting and folding. Yajanuma raises to $7.5 million to indicate he has a weak hand with 8-7 off, but Carroll has one of the weakest hands ever with 8-3 off, so he is happy to put in the odd number 3-bet of $23 million. It doesn't take long for poker god Yajanuma to 4-bet to $42 million, and that was a nice chip up. Finally, we get towards the end of the match. Yajanuma limps with Jack-8 off. Carroll 6-3 off, knows what to do, and makes it $13 million. Although instead of 3-betting and taking it down pre, Yajanuma decides to take a flop where he actually flops top pair. Carroll starts with a bet of $17 million. once again indicating he is bluffing or has nothing of value. Yaganoma could raise and take it down here, but he decides to slow play. Now on the turn, a flush comes in, so Carol slows down. Honestly, chip dumping aside, not a bad card for him to continue firing considering he now has a gut shot, but I'm sure at some level they weren't trying to make things look super obvious. A 3-street barrel here might really set off some alarm bells. How about just a 2-streeter? Yaganoma checks the turn back and the queen of spades comes on the river. Carol puts in his biggest bet of the night for 57 million. 57! An odd number. Interesting. Also, you guessed it, Yaganoma makes the call. Now the two have reversed roles as when compared to starting. Yaganuma is the big stack and Carol is the tiny stack. Let's finally end things as Yaganuma jams queen 3 off on Carol, who has ace 10 suited. With 13 big blinds, this should be a snap call. But Carol hesitates, probably thinking, can I get away with folding this on live TV and it not look sus? No, he makes the call. The flop is not favorable to Yaganuma, but the turn is. And just like that, he officially takes it down and everyone is happy. Well, maybe just for now. The very next morning, the WSOP took to X and had this to say, quote, last night we were made aware of a potential breach of the official WSOP tournament rules during heads-up play in Event 53. An investigation is underway. At this time, first and second place have not been confirmed and neither the prize money nor the bracelet have been officially awarded. Yeah, so this is pretty crazy. Right after Yaganuma won the tournament, the WSOP did post his winning photo, but they also actually deleted it very soon after. At the end of the day, we have to ask, did chip dumping really happen? Well, when you open jam aces more than once, I think that's just icing on the cake. And how about this hand where Yaganuma and Carol both have king high? Carol bets 13 million on the river as a bluff with king 9 and Yaganuma hero calls with king 7. He knows Carol is bluffing, but king high could very well be good. He had the right idea, but as it turns out, he's got kicker problems and they are both left looking silly. As I said on Twitter, that moment when you signal to your opponent that you are bluffing, but your bluff accidentally beats their bluff. I wasn't the only one posting about it. Twitter or X went crazy after this happened. Several pros called out anyone who dared to comment on the situation, especially other pros, aka keep quiet and there will be no problems. This will all just blow over. Even some people I really like Pads, had this opinion. But I mean, this is the internet. It's all out there for everyone to see. Get fucking real. I'm talking about it because it is interesting and a big deal in poker. I'm not on some moral high ground. I think Yaganuma and Carol should keep the money, and WPT Gold has already announced they are allowing them to keep it. In fact, here's what Ambassador Doug Pulk had to say.
But at the end of the day, I think you just simply have to pay these people the million. I mean, what are we talking about? Guys, no one else was impacted here. It was two people, heads up for a bracelet. Somebody's got to win. And if you don't want this potentially to be a possibility, maybe don't offer people $1 million for winning a tournament when you don't know who the people are. There are some sketchy people out there. I think it would be ridiculous for the World Series of Poker to ban these people. I think it would be ridiculous for the World Series of Poker to not pay them. I think it would be ridiculous for WPT to not pay them. I think this is all just kind of ridiculous. Look, if there was a third player at the table and they were colluding against them, by all means, go to town. But when it's just the two players, it's effectively just their money, and there's nothing in the rule book when it pertains to this specific prize. I think you just got to let it roll. It's the right thing to do. So, gun to my head, based on how blatant some of these hands are, I think that they teamed up to make sure Jesse won. But in this particular instance, I think these guys should get paid.
While what Yaganoma and Carol did could be perceived as cheating and could very well be a reason for WPT Gold not to pay them, I really think it's more likely WPT Gold wanted Yaganoma to win. I mean, get this. Yaganoma competed in a nacho eating contest the same day of the final table to win his golden ticket.
This poker player might win $1 million because of eating nachos. Let me explain. As you might know, Club WPT Gold is giving away $1 million bonus for anyone who wins a major tournament and holds a Gold Rush ticket. And this is Jesse Yaganuma. Jesse is one of the best current poker players and he's won over $2.7 million playing. And he also has 3 bracelets. And Jesse participated in a nacho eating competition that we hosted where the winning prize was a Gold Rush ticket. And here we are, Jesse is in second place in chips and there is only 7 people left in this event. $1 million on the line because of these nachos.
You really can't make this stuff up. As one of the top comments in Doug's video puts it, quote, WPT absolutely knew what they were doing with this. This was sabotage of the WSOP, and it's low-key hilarious. For those less informed, WPT and GG Poker are massive rivals, and GG Poker now owns the WSOP. So I think that comment is not too far off. By awarding $1 million to a bracelet winner, WPT is stealing that attention and putting it on them, especially now that there is such a huge controversy that will be talked about for who knows how long after. I think the biggest mistake the WSOP could make is to decline paying out Yajinuma and Carol. That would make them look very bad and the WPT very good. The unexpected heroes of the tournament who were in theory supposed to be the ones that were angry. Let me know what you guys think and be sure to subscribe, as I am sure this will not be over anytime soon.